Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Latinaly podcast. I feel like I haven't talked to you in like weeks because I haven't. And we take accountability for our actions. I have been absent, but that's okay because I'm back and we're here. And if I sound like shit, it's because I feel like poo. I don't feel well. 'Tis the season because my kids and I have been sick all first semester of school because kids, especially when my son is in school. But I wanted to start this episode off with what I'm reading. Little bit of backstory, not necessarily back. It didn't need to be a whole backstory, but I love to read. I used to be one of those people that were like, ew, you like reading? It's so boring. How stupid was I? So the first book that got me back into reading, say what you will about the girl, but when you're in a reading slump, she really, really gets you out of it. It's Colleen Hoover. Baby, the first book that I read was Verity. I actually listened to Verity. I got back into reading through audiobooks because I was, working from home, taking care of my son, a lot going on. I would spend hours trying to put him down for a nap because first time mom, didn't know what I was doing. Nevertheless, I would listen to audiobooks and audiobooks really have my heart. Actually, the last audiobook that I listened to was Caraval because that's probably one of the only fantasy books that I could not get into. So I had to listen to it. So shout out to Spotify because I had to listen to Caraval, was not going to pay for it. I bought the book. I bought the Kindle version, couldn't get into the book. Every time I would open it and my eyes would just close. That's it. Nevertheless, audiobooks have my heart. And I was really into, when I first started reading, I needed thriller, mystery, suspensefulness. I needed all of that. First couple books that I read, Verity, probably one of the best books. Honestly, probably the best book she's ever written. Okay. Cannot wait for the movie. My girls are going to kill it. I love Anne Hathaway. I love Dakota Johnson. They are going to kill it. I'm gagged. Cannot wait. Then the next book I read, which is honestly probably it's one of the best books I've ever read, is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 out of 10. Also, too, by Lucy Foley, The Hunting Party. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, sis. Okay? The Guest List audiobook, 20 out of 10. Stunning. You have to listen to it. I'm going to tag it as a part of this video. So then I got into fantasy. Hello. Where was I living? Evidently under a rock, because the first book that I picked up in the fantasy realm was Fourth Wing. I'm not a fan of war books. It's not a war book, but it's in a war college setting, which I didn't think that I would like. Didn't follow most of whatever the war lingo was, but didn't matter. I did what I could with it. Love Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing is amazing. It kickstarted this fantasy, obsession. Just obsession. Sickly. Disgusting. Because after Fourth Wing, I devoured Fourth Wing. Devoured. Iron Flame. Now, I was late to the game, so I was able to bang, go to Fourth Wing, Iron Flame. Waited a year for Onyx Storm. I love you, Rebecca, but I probably could have waited a little longer so that it could be better. Onyx Storm and Iron Flame could have been one book. I feel how I feel. This was supposed to be a trilogy, and now we're making it into a 5-book saga. Baby girl, get your bag, okay? Get it. Pocket it. I feel you. But please, Iron Flame and Onyx Storm could have been one book. Okay. That's all I wanted to say. So then naturally, you pick up Sarah J. Maas and A Court of Thorns and Roses. And that's when it became a disgusting obsession. And I'm never going to go back. A Court of Mist and Fury is my Roman Empire, but I have to tell you, a lot of people sleep on Wings and Ruin. Wings and Ruin is probably the book that had me in shambles the most. A Quarter Mist and Fury had me it had me giddy, like it had me like blushing, it had me giddy. I was like, oh my God. A Court of Wings and Ruin had me in fucking shambles. That's the book that I was probably screaming into the most. Sarah, baby gal, you gotta hurry up with the next one. Girl, I don't even know what the damn book is called. But I'm ready. So please. whenever you're ready to bless us, I am sat. So thank you. So after buying the books a millennia ago, I'm finally ready to dive into Crescent City. I took a little time. Well, not a little. I took a lot of time between ACOTAR and CC because they are two different bodies of work. The same way I'm going to take a very long hiatus from Crescent City to Throne of Glass, primarily because I don't fucking know what order to read it in. So there's that. But Crescent City, I need to take it for what it is. I have to say, I thoroughly am enjoying it so far. And I am on page 56. I'm on chapter 5. And it is very different. I love the modernization of it, of like they have cell phones and TVs, and it's not all like fairies and fucking whimsical, whatever. I love the wolves. I love Danica or Donica. She is everything. Bryce, you know what I'm saying? Like fucking herself a human with mad bread, loving that. But she's got a wolf on her ass, loving that. Loving that. Anyway, so we are starting Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood. Thoroughly enjoying it so far. So opening, that is the book that I'm reading. I will give you an update. I'm going to give you an update. If you want a real-time update, go to my TikTok where I will be posting reactions to Crescent City because I have all 3 books. And that last book is going to probably take me a month to read. That's probably the biggest book I'm going to ever read. I think it's like 1,000 pages. A Little Life is 800, and A Little Life nearly took me out. So let's get into it. So naturally, it is that time again for another signed Kiah, and we have enough for a whole episode. So let's chat, babe. Let's get into it. How do you stop showing up for people who only remember you when they need something? Oh boy. Starting off strong here, Pookalicious. I think that you being able to acknowledge it is the first step. I think that you being able to recognize that for whoever you're talking about, you are the person that they come to when they need something, but you cannot rely on them is definitely step 1, because some people don't even know that they're that person. Some people don't know that they are being used. And when we're not able to recognize that we're being used in that way, or that we're being used in that way, it's like every single time that someone comes to you only when they need something, they know and they're comfortable enough to acknowledge and come to you because you are willing to do whatever, whenever they need it. And there's a familiarity there with that person that they feel with you. And sure, in a lot of relationships, that's good and that's wonderful, but not when you're the only one giving and they're not pouring back into you. And that's a really hard pill to swallow. The only way to break that dynamic is for you to make them less comfortable with them using you. How the hell do we do that? This seems a little petty, but start with delaying your responses to them. Start with keeping them on red just for a little while. If you're someone that, like, when this person immediately texts you, you are so quick to respond. Let's make ourselves less available to that person. Let's make ourselves less accessible. It lowers their confidence in them expecting you to answer back, expecting you to be able to deliver on whatever they're asking for, because their confidence in you to answer back so quickly, it makes their urgency your responsibility. And they know that they have an urgency and you're going to always be there to meet it. So leave them on red. Let them be for a little while. This comes naturally with a lot of people-pleasing personalities. That comes with a lot of childhood trauma. I get it. This is not going to be an easy habit to break. This is going to be something that takes time. It's going to be something that takes practice. You're going to have to put it into execution. When this person's name pops up on your phone, leave them on red. Do not be the first to volunteer when they have a problem. Match their energy. Also, a really big way, the thing is, you already know that they only come to you when they need something. Ask them for something. Ask them for something. And maybe this is an opportunity for you to hold them accountable when you ask for something like, hey, I really need this. Like, can I have it soon? Like, I don't really have enough time. Like, I really have this issue. Can you please help me? Like, I don't know what else to do. It's an emergency. See how they respond to you, because they're not going to meet you in the same way that you've been meeting them. And that is truly sometimes the reality check that we need for us to say, okay, you know what? It's time to set this boundary and it's time to make myself less accessible to them, because this is not fair to me. This is not a relationship. This is just a charity handout. And I am not a charity. I don't have enough to pour into this person who's not pouring back into me. And so the energy that you would give to this person, give it to those that actually pour into you. Give it to people in your circle who have your back and you know that you can count on them for anything. And just in your process of you doing that, it's really easy to feel guilty, especially if you're the people pleasing type. It's really easy to let that guilt sit on you and say, okay, well, like, they need me. And like, oh my God, like, am I being like an asshole for this? No, you're not. No, you're not, because you're choosing you. You already know that you give too much. Start setting that boundary and self-talk to yourself. Okay, hey, it's time. No more. When you finally, let's say, do ask them for something and they meet you with hesitation, or they give you they basically give you what you should be giving them, that's the moment when you can say to them, if you want to, you can use it as an opportunity to confront them. Say, hey, like, do you ever notice this, that I give way more to you, and like every time I ask you for something, you're never available, you're never there to help me, and yet the moment that you need something, I'm always there? Or do you ever notice that you never really talk to me unless you need something? That's a really, really shitty dynamic to be in. Wow, like, they really do need me, and like, I'm the one person that can help them. It's okay that they don't really talk to me that often, but they only talk to me when it's really, really important. No, baby. They talk to you when it's important to them. They talk to you when they need something. They talk to you because you are the only person on the planet that's probably going to enable their bullshit and give them exactly what they want, because they are taking advantage of your kindness, your warmth, and your generosity. And it is time to cut that out. Next one. How do you forgive someone who didn't even apologize? So I made an entire podcast episode about this. So if you watch my last episode, it is about forgiveness without apology. But to answer the question, it is probably one of the hardest things that you could possibly do. Sometimes people say, you don't need to forgive, fuck that, I'm not forgiving, I hate them. Here's the thing, you could still hate that person. That's fine. I'm a firm believer that forgiveness is not for them, it is for me. When I don't forgive someone, I hold a grudge. The grudge ferments, it rots, and then it turns me into a bitter person. Forgiveness is not an absolvement of them on what they did to you. It's not saying, you know what, I forgive you, here's an opportunity for you to do it again. No. Your forgiveness comes with boundary. Your forgiveness comes with a conversation to yourself to say, I'm not going to allow this behavior anymore. I am not okay with this. And I'm going to choose to forgive this person because I need to go to sleep. And unfortunately, it's a situation in which you have to give yourself closure because they're not going to do it. How do you do it? You say to yourself, I'm not holding on to this anymore. My feelings are valid. Yes, I'm hurt. Yes, they hurt me. Yes, they hurt my feelings. They broke my heart. They did something shady, shicey, whatever it is that this person did to you. Your feelings are very valid. And just because they don't apologize doesn't invalidate your feelings, doesn't make your feelings go away. Just because they won't acknowledge their behavior doesn't mean it didn't happen. Doesn't mean that you're just conjuring up these emotions out of nowhere. No, this happened. It hurt you. And it's okay for sometimes, unfortunate as it is, but it is okay for you to be the one to validate your own feelings. And sometimes when people don't apologize, that's exactly what you have to do. We believe that closure comes with accountability. Unfortunately, it does not. Sometimes it does not, because nowadays people don't know how to take accountability when they've actually done something wrong. Sometimes you'll get this bullshit backhanded apology. Well, I didn't realize that I did. You're very smart. Everyone's smart. People know exactly what they're doing. And the problem is that when they actually then show you that they know exactly what they're doing to you and you get upset, they don't expect that reaction out of you. So that's why they're not going to apologize and hold themselves accountable. Also, too, you have to take this into account that some people don't give a shit that they're assholes. Some people don't care. Some people don't care that they hurt you. And that's why they don't apologize. Again, all of this that I'm saying is a really big pill to swallow. It's a really big smack in the face that you now have to nurse, because that's just life sometimes. And so when you validate your own feelings and when you finally say to yourself, I'm not holding on to this hurt anymore, you finally then say, I'm done waiting for this person to be something that they are incapable of being. And that is apologetic and accountable. And you claim your power back. You give yourself that closure. And that is such a powerful thing to be able to do for yourself. So yes, it's hard, but you can do it, because that person does not deserve your forgiveness. A lot of people don't deserve your forgiveness, but you deserve ease and peace in your spirit. And sometimes that's the only way to give it to yourself. Love you, Pookie. And fuck that person who hurt you. I'm a starting podcaster. Do you have any recommendations and tips? I have a bunch. Should I do a separate bonus episode about this? I think I probably could. First of all, congratulations. Hi, welcome to the podcast hosting group. Nice to have you. Boy, oh boy. Okay, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of what I believe are the most important things. Don't overthink it. Come up with a really great niche. It could be cooking, teaching. It could be shit talking. It could be, like a journalism kind. You could podcast about anything. You could podcast about motherhood. You could podcast about singlehood. You could podcast about just girlhood or manhood or whatever the case is. But the goal for your show is that you are giving something to your audience. What is something that audiences or the market of podcasters, what are they missing out on, and what can you deliver for your show? Right? My show is a show that is uplifting and empowering and a teaching opportunity, not only for my listeners, but also for myself, in being authentically who you are, even if that means that you are too much, because you are going to be too much for somebody. And that doesn't mean that you have to dim your light or shrink yourself down to be digestible for anybody. You show up and you be everything that you are, even if that is a lot, because those are the bitches that get shit done. That's my show. Okay. And my show is about uplifting women and reclaiming your power in any way that looks, right? And it's also about celebrating our seasons of becoming and being everything that we want to be for ourselves. Obviously, my podcast is for everybody, but I'm always going to highlight and amplify and put a spotlight on Black and Latina voices. So that's just my show. Come up with a niche. Come up with a name. ChatGPT is great for coming up with a name. Branding. Think about how you want your show to look. Think about how you want your show to feel. How do you want your audience to feel after listening to your show? That's a really great baseline to start off with. Now, As far as like, where do you put your show? Spotify for podcasters. Boom, create a podcast right there. Design some artwork. Sometimes I know that's really hard. You could hire a designer. You could, I don't know if you want to hire me. You could. It's up to you. You could hire someone off of Fiverr. You could go on Canva and do it. It's totally up to you. Another thing that I would really, 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 really invest in and do some research on is a microphone. You don't have to do a video podcast. I'm a video podcast. You don't have to be video. You could just do audio. Audio is very important. Get a microphone. If you want all of my podcasting equipment, I will put it on my Amazon storefront, and you can go through there and look at all the things that I've personally purchased, like my lights and my tripod and my hub for all of my cords. I record on my phone, and I have it casted to my iPad right here so I can see what I look like. And yeah, I basically upload everything on Spotify for podcasters, and then I distribute it everywhere else because that's pretty easy to do from Spotify. And then I edit on Riverside. So that's pretty much my tips, honestly. I could do a larger video. Let me know if that's something that you would want. But basically, have fun with it, be yourself, and understand one very important thing. You ain't gonna make any money for a very long time. So if you're doing this to try to make money and be like Call Her Daddy and Joe Rogan, baby gal, it's not gonna happen. Do it for fun and the money will come. Next one. Okay, my best friend ghosted me after I sent her a text explaining how her actions have hurt me lately. This was my first time ever sending a text speaking my piece. A part of me expected this reaction as I have seen her do it to others. Should I regret saying something? I never got a response. Okay, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this because this is not going to come out very nice. But just know that it comes with love. I love you. Thank you for your question. Couple things. Fuck your friend. Okay, hold your hand. You are not that important to your friend. Clearly, she has a very bad habit of shitting on people, and you never thought that she would do it to you. You put her on a pedestal that doesn't even come close to where she put you. That's how low she put you. You claim her to be your best friend. I don't think that you're her best friend. You are someone that she doesn't respect. Okay? You are someone that she does not value. You are someone that she does not honor. She does not cherish because she doesn't give a shit that she lost you, which is why she's not answering you. Okay? This is where we're going to have to forgive without accountability. We're going to have to forgive without apology here. Your question, should I regret saying something? Never regret speaking your mind. Ever. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes we have moments and we're like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And I was cringy and whatever. It happens to me all the time. Do I regret being cringy? Sometimes. Do I ever regret speaking my mind? Fuck no. I don't care. I don't care. Never regret speaking your mind. You told your friend how you felt. That's what a friendship should be. A friendship is a relationship. It is a give and it is a take. If you cannot express to your friend, hey, bitch, you hurt my feelings. And we're talking, you said best friend. This is your best friend. And she just doesn't even respond to you. She doesn't respect you. And she doesn't care. Friends that care would have called you. Friends that care would have FaceTimed you. Friends that care would have showed up to your house. Friends that care would take accountability like this and make sure you never felt that way ever again. That's what a true friendship is. Now, you expecting this, that had to have been a really crappy feeling for you because in a lot of ways it sounded like you wanted her to prove you wrong. And she ended up proving you right. She showed everybody else who she was, and you were there to bear witness when she showed everyone her true colors. So I just want to know, when she did this to them, what did you think? Also, too, I'm very curious, and you could respond to me anonymously if you want. I'm also very curious, when she did this to other people, what did she say to you about those situations? That's what I want to know. What is the aftermath? What does that post conversation look like when she did this to other people? Because that'll also give you a very, very good inclination of what she's doing right now. That'll give you a very good inclination of how she's feeling right now. Because if she felt that way and did it to other people, and in your perspective, they did not mean as much to her as you do because you're the best friend, right? You said you've seen her do this to other people, but you're her best friend. And because you didn't expect her to do this to you and she did it, then you can kind of go based on previous experiences and kind of go, okay, so this is the way it's going to go now. You know, did she apologize to those people? Did she reconcile with those people? Based on her past behaviors, you can kind of get a good idea of what's going to happen next. Never regret saying something. Always speak your mind. That's not a real friend. She doesn't deserve you. And I know sometimes it's really hard to let go of your best friend. Okay? I had a best friend for 8 years that I let go of. I had a best friend of 13 years that I had to let go of. It's like a death. It's a breakup. And it feels like shit. But baby, hindsight 2020, you are so much better off without her. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. You are so much better off. And honestly, this is God. This is God. And you know what I'm also going to tell you? You not getting a response, probably the best thing for you. The best thing. In this situation, I'm going to say it's the best thing because her response is probably going to break your heart. And I don't want you to get your heart broken. Her response is going to gut you if she does respond to you. And if she responds to you with some bullshit ass apology, still, she ain't your friend. She ain't your friend. So I'm so sorry that this happened to you. You don't deserve this. She does not deserve you as a friend. So I promise you, hindsight 2020, everything will be so clear in the future. And you'll be able to look back on it and go, wow, okay. This was needed for me. So it'll get better. I promise. I promise. As someone who has been there, it'll be okay. Last question. What has been the hardest part of motherhood for you? This is probably the simplest yet deepest question because I've thought about this at length. The hardest part of motherhood for me has been not letting my pain, my trauma, come out in anger and spill on my children. I have a lot of anger. I have a lot of resentment that's been kind of just piled up from the years of not dealing with it. And I snap. That unhealed trauma for me has shown up as postpartum rage. And I didn't know postpartum rage was a thing until I saw someone else on Instagram. She was filming a cooking video with her kids in it and it came out. And I related to it so much because I think it's probably one of the worst. It's probably one of the worst things. It's heartbreaking, honestly, because it's directly to your kids. And outbursts like that are a trauma response. The problem that I'm having is that every time I do it, I understand that that causes trauma for my children. You know, having an outburst like that where you're yelling and screaming and, you know, you're so angry that you kind of just you don't care. My reaction to something is much more amplified and heightened with aggravation and anger, rage added to it. And, you know, to my kids, it's almost like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be that way. You know, so healing, honestly, has been the hardest part of motherhood for me because I didn't know how much healing I had to do until I became a mom. I think that that's probably the hardest thing that I've had to deal with. The hardest part of motherhood is making sure or trying to make sure that I do the healing necessary to make sure that my children don't have to heal from me. Whew. What the fuck? Oh my God. Oh, Woo, okay. Oh, I'm done. Oh. Oh. Holy shit. Let me turn on the camera and cry. Bitch, I'm pretty when I cry. I hate those videos. Let me turn on the camera and cry. Shut up. Some of us like to just talk into our fucking camera and do a podcast. Fucking haters. Anyway, the book that I've been reading and I have gotten so... Oh my gosh, I've gotten so much from this book. It's called Wilted Flowers, Navigating Motherhood with Mother Wound by Divi... I'm going to say Divi Majo? I'm so sorry. This is the book. Okay. She has a poem on the back that I'll read to you. Here we go. Motherfucker. Here we go. Okay. Ready? Come on. What the fuck is happening? I feel like Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo during their fucking press tours. Like, what the fuck? Okay. Oh my God. Here we go. Okay, this poem is why I bought this book. Wait till you have kids that behave just like you. But I did. I did have kids that are just like me. And I realized how easy it was to love me. How easy it was to be kind, to not belittle and humiliate. I have kids that are just like me, but they will never feel my heartbreak. Are you fucking kidding, Divi? Okay? This. It's going to be my Amazon storefront. Oh my God. Amazing book. So, yeah. Jesus Christ. Can't say that we don't get deep here on the show. Oh my God. Anyway. Wow. I didn't think we were going to get so deep on today's episode. But look at that. Another glorious signed Kiah in the books. And that is all for today's episode. If you cannot get enough of me the same way I cannot get enough of you, please be sure to follow us on Instagram and on TikTok. And subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify, where you can watch the Latinaly podcast and you can listen everywhere else. And if you want to be on the next Sign Kiah, go over to our NGL link. That's ngl.link/Latinaly podcast to ask us anonymous questions. Or you could go over to kiahbrokers.com/ask and I will answer all of your submissions candidly and unapologetically on the next Sign Kiah. And we have merch. So while you're on our website, kiahbrokers.com, go look at our merch and let me know what you think. It is so comfortable. It is so amazing. I am working on volume 2 right now, and it is so gag worthy. So go over and pick up some merch because tis the season. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. And the quality is 10 out of 10. I'm your host, Kiah Burgos. This is the Latinaly podcast, where we are untamed, uncensored, and always unapologetic. And I will see you next week.